The night sky has always carried a quiet testimony, a story written long before nations rose and fell. When the moon turns red, the world pauses, because something ancient stirs in the human heart. A blood moon is more than an eclipse. It is a moment when creation itself seems to lean closer, reminding us that the heavens are not silent. They mark time, they mark seasons, they mark turning points in the story of humanity. From the days of Israel's wandering to the birth of nations in our modern world, the red moon has appeared like a divine signature across history's pages. And when four of them rise in sequence, the world calls it a tetrad, a rhythm in the sky that has aligned with moments of shaking, moments of restoration, and moments when prophecy feels nearer than before. Today we step into that story, exploring what a blood moon truly is, what the tetrads have meant across the ages, and what the final blood moon will mean when the heavens declare the return of the King. The moon has always been a witness in the night sky, a silent servant reflecting the light of the sun. But there are moments when that reflection is interrupted, when the earth moves between the two and the moon falls into shadow. In those moments, the moon turns red, glowing like a coal suspended in the heavens. This is the blood moon, not a mystical invention, not a superstition, but a real astronomical event called a total lunar eclipse. When sunlight bends through the Earth's atmosphere, the blue light scatters and the red light passes through, painting the moon with the color of sunset. It is a natural event, yet it carries a supernatural echo, because the Bible uses this sign to mark moments of warning, transition, and divine intervention. Throughout history, God has used the heavens as a timeline. The stars mark seasons, the sun marks days, and the moon marks appointed times. When the moon turns red, Scripture pays attention. Joel spoke of it when he said the moon would turn to blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord. Peter repeated it on the day of Pentecost, reminding the crowd that the heavens would one day speak again. The blood moon is not the end itself, but a signpost pointing toward it. In the modern era, people began noticing patterns, not just single blood moons, but sequences. A tetrad is a series of 4 total lunar eclipses in a row, each separated by 6 lunar months. It is rare enough to catch the world's attention and meaningful enough to stir the hearts of those who watch prophecy unfold. The most famous tetrad in recent memory occurred in 2014 and 2015, with each blood moon falling on biblical feast days. To many believers, it felt like the heavens were aligning with the calendar of God, reminding the world that His timeline has not stopped. But tetrads are not new. They have appeared at moments when Israel's story shifted. A tetrad occurred near the time of the Spanish expulsion of the Jews in 1492. Another appeared around the founding of Israel in 1948. Another surrounded the Six-Day War in 1967. These events were not caused by the moons, but the moons became markers, celestial timestamps on the pages of history. They reminded Israel that even in scattering, even in war, even in rebirth, God was still writing the story. The current era brings something different. Not a perfect tetrad, but what astronomers call an almost tetrad. 3 total lunar eclipses and 1 deep partial eclipse, so close to totality that the moon will appear nearly red. It is a pattern that feels like a pause, a breath, a reminder that the world is approaching something but has not yet crossed the threshold. The shadow is deep, but the light is not fully taken. It is as if the heavens are saying that mercy still delays the final eclipse. For ancient Israel, a red moon meant the same thing it means today, a sign that God is speaking through creation. They saw eclipses as moments when heaven and earth aligned in a way that demanded attention. They did not worship the moon, but they understood that the Creator used the heavens as a canvas. A blood moon could mark judgment, deliverance, or transition. It could signal the closing of one chapter and the opening of another. For us today, a blood moon does not predict disaster, nor does it guarantee a specific event. But it does remind us that prophecy is not a myth. The heavens still move according to the laws God set in place. The moon still turns red. The signs Jesus spoke of still appear. And the final blood moon, the one described in Revelation, will not be a quiet astronomical event. It will be a global moment when the sky itself declares that the Lamb is returning. The end-time blood moon is not just an eclipse, it is a cosmic announcement that the King is stepping into history once more. So when we see the moon turn red today, we do not fear. We watch. We remember. We lift our eyes. Because every blood moon is a reminder that the story is moving forward, that the timeline is not random, and that the heavens still declare the glory of God. The tetrads of the past marked Israel's journey. The almost tetrad of our time marks ours. And the final blood moon will mark the moment when the shadow passes forever and the glory of the Lord fills the sky. As this teaching comes to a close, the moon returns to its familiar glow, but the message remains. The blood moon is not a superstition, not a myth, not a fear-driven omen. It is a reminder that the God who formed the heavens still uses them to speak. The tetrads of the past marked Israel's journey through exile, war, and rebirth. The almost tetrad of our own time marks a world standing on the edge of prophetic fulfillment. And the final blood moon, the one spoken of in Scripture, will mark the moment when the sky itself announces that the story is reaching its climax. Thank you for watching and walking with us through this journey across the timeline of the heavens. If this teaching opened your understanding or stirred your spirit, drop a comment and let your voice be part of the conversation. Share this message with someone who needs clarity in these days, someone who senses that the world is shifting but doesn't yet see the signs. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Bible Truth and ring the bell so you never miss a teaching as we continue exploring the signs, the scriptures, and the unfolding story of God's plan for the world. Until the next teaching, keep your eyes lifted, keep your heart steady, and keep watching the sky that still declares His glory.